Notnerd Podcast, episode 198, almost a milestone.
Welcome to the Notnerd Podcast. I'm Nate Heath, and we're here to help you tech better. We've got all kinds of stuff to cover today. Here with me, as always, Mr. Dave Baylor.
Mr. Nate, I have a story to tell.
Yes.
About what's happening in my technology life. I was saving this. I didn't utter a peep earlier. I tried to use my McDonald's app, which I've used successfully many times, to get a deal on some burgers. And so I go through I do my app, go through the drive-through, say the pickup, and the kid at the window is like, yeah, go to the second window. And I'm just kind of like, my spidey sense is tingling because I'm like, I've been burned by you before,
I've
Lumiere.
been to the second window.
Yeah, and so you get to the second window and they're like, who are you and can I help you? Yeah, my mobile order, the guy sent me through. He's like, oh, there's no order here. The guy's supposed to do something with the computer to accept the order, but they never do it. So I was late for something, so I rushed off, said, forget about it. You've already wasted my time. If I weren't a Christian man, I might have done a gesture to the person. Did my thing, got out. I'm like, really hungry now. Go to a different McDonald's. Do my app again. Submit the order. Go to the little mic thing. We don't see your order. Did you submit it? Yes, I submitted it. It says here. I verified the address and everything. And I've used this thing 100 times. And today, twice, it didn't work. So the question is it me and my app and my phone and my experience? Or does McDonald's need to train their people better? I don't know. Anyway, I just had to get it off my chest. It was frustrating.
Oh, that is.
So I went to Taco Bell.
Oh, there you go. When you have the app, you want it to work. We were trying to order some food from Famous Dave's Barbecue the other night. Oh,
yes.
And you go in their app. Well, the one here near us does not take mobile orders.
It's basically the menu and the coupons, right?
Yes. And so you can call in. It's like, call here to place your order. It's like, I could have called the phone number in the first place. And then you go to something like Grubhub, and they have some of the menu items, but not all of them. So it's not quite there yet.
It's in its infancy.
Yes.
And it's getting better. But sometimes you just walk up to the counter and hand him your old wadded up dollar bills and say, give me food, please.
Yes. That usually works. Well, as we mentioned last week, we are a mere 2 episodes away from episode 200. Mm-hmm. 200 of these that we've done.
A milestone.
It is a huge milestone, and we are asking for your help. We would love all of you listeners out there to send in your picks of the week. Whatever it is, we've got something special planned for the 200th episode, but we want you to, call our phone number, leave us a message, send in a video, send us an email, send us a text message, put it on Facebook, whatever it is. We want to gather all these picks of the week. It could be something we've already talked about, but it's really made a difference for you. It could be something that you think nobody else needs, but it's something that technology that makes a difference in your life. We want your picks of the week because we wouldn't get to episode 300. Well, that too.
True.
Episode 200 without all our listeners and without all the support we get. And so we want to give you an opportunity to talk through what technology impacts your life. Whatever it is, we want to hear about it for episode 200. So get them in. So that will be the 30th, the 7th.
Carry the 1, divide by 0.
Yeah, by October 5th. Let's say by October 5th. October 4th. 10-4. 10-4, good buddy.
10-4, good buddy.
Get in your picks of the week, whatever form. If you need some assistance, let us know, and we can show you how to do that. Do a voice memo. You can do those. There's so many ways to do it.
So many ways.
But we want to gather those up and just have a wide range to go along with the other stuff we have planned for episode 200. We are very excited. Correction, we were talking about Apple Music last week in the web version. I neglected to mention that it's also on Android. There is an Android version of Apple Music, so it's pretty much available on all the major platforms
Anything
now.
that you probably have.
I've got a link to a bunch of the iPhone 11 and 11 Pro reviews. Somebody did a roundup of them. Dave, what have you been hearing on the street, on the interwebs about the new iPhones?
iPhone 11 is great for 99.9% of everybody. The iPhone 11 Pro has great cameras. It's got the midnight green color.
Yes.
Is more of a gray than a green. What else can I take away from this thing here? There are some nice cases. The clear case is there. The matte feature texture on the back of the Pros is slicker than the smooth of the 11. Just little tidbits like that. What about you?
I would say some people have reviewed the clear case from Apple, and they say that it's slipperier than the phone, which is not something you're looking for. Most people, when they put a case on, they want more grip because the phones are already relatively slippery.
But at least when you drop it, it has a case on it. Right?
Yeah.
So.
Yes. So I'm going to read through a couple of the snippets that were taken from these major reviewers. I think these were these were prior to the actual release, so it's the Tech Press. Daring Fireball, John Gruber. The year-over-year improvements are equally impressive and at times mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling. And that's from Gruber, who doesn't get too excited about too much. The Wall Street Journal, theirs was actually, their overall review was like, but they said the new iPhones have improved cameras, but our columnist is betting you'll care most about the extra juice. Mashable said you may never need a real camera again.
Wow.
But yeah, there are a lot of reviews out there, and a lot of it's pretty positive. Usually there's a lot of people complaining, but I would agree the 11 is going to be great for most people, and the Pros if you want to step it up a little more and have that extra camera and stuff, which I picked up mine on Friday.
Yes.
You came along. We have a video up on the YouTube channel.
Please don't forget to go to our YouTube video to like and subscribe, but we have a hands-on first look video of Nate's new phone, so tell us what you think about it now that you've had it for 4 days.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. The new cameras, I haven't had a lot of time to do a lot of testing. I've sent you
What
a
are you
couple,
working or something?
Yeah,
What's going on?
Something like that. So the 3 cameras, having the ultra wide angle, I've done some tests. I've sent you a couple. The night mode, I just played. I wasn't able to take any good test shots, but I did. I was in a dark room, so I tried taking a couple. It is really impressive, and all the people online are saying the same thing. The night mode is the best in class right now, and the Pixel 4 is coming out next month, so it might be better.
Yeah, it might be a short-lived victory.
Yes, but it seems really fast. Now we're going to talk a little bit about iOS 13, which, if you remember back to June when they first announced it, they said there was a lot of performance improvements. They did a lot of work to make it more efficient, make everything work a little better. But this new phone, even coming from the XS Max, it just feels really fast. Like getting into LastPass to pull a password, that stuff's just instantaneous, unlocking it.
And I've noticed on my last year's, trashy old 10R, it's still in perfect condition, that iOS 13.1 beta that I'm running on it now is smooth, fast. The bugs seem to be taken care of, but you're right, the response and performance is really nice.
Yes. So I'm really liking it. The battery life, it is lasting me. Saturday, I was using my phone all day long, and it lasted well into the evening. Then I just had to charge it up a little bit, and then it was good. The rest had a long day Saturday. But the battery life, that is really a huge feature. And the one thing that everybody talks about, the 3 cameras on the back, the selfie camera is much improved.
Yes.
It's up from 8 to 12 megapixels.
And you can definitely tell a difference.
Yes, that is huge. So if selfies are important to you, the new 11 and 11 Pro. But I did want to talk about iOS 13. As you listen to this episode, iOS 13.1 will be released, which a lot of people are saying, hey, maybe wait till 13.1. It's bringing a lot more stuff. iPad OS is coming with that.
A friend of mine asked, hey, tell me about this 13 thing. Should I upgrade? He didn't upgrade his phone. And I said, why don't you wait 2 days?
Yeah, just wait 2 days.
And get the 13.1, and you can save yourself some headache.
I haven't had a lot of problems with 13, but a lot of people have had some bugginess. So Tuesday, the 24th, 13.1 is coming out. Upgrade to that. It's giving a lot of new features. Now, Federico Vitici, we've probably mentioned him on the podcast before. He writes this insane...
It's like 13 pages long.
It's 30. 30 sections.
30 pages long, sorry.
Yes, and every section is super in-depth. He covers every aspect of iOS 13. There's a lot of things that I had forgot about since June, since I hadn't been using it.
Yeah, he hits
a lot of it I skimmed through because it's just way too much information. But if you want to really get a good grasp on what's in iOS 13, check that out.
And he has screenshots of how all this stuff works, and he is an unabashed iPad fan.
Yes.
And this entire thing was, with maybe a couple exceptions,
Yes.
wasn't completely written, and screenshots were made and edited all on his iPad.
Yeah.
So he's a post-traditional computer person, but the reviews got these gorgeous pictures and nice formatting, and it's a joy just to look through because it's a well-formatted website.
Yeah, and I was reminded, we even talked about it on the podcast, the video editing features that you can do right in the Photos app for adjusting things, all the improvements to the Photos stuff. There is so much there. iOS 13 will give you a big... make you feel like you have a new phone once you upgrade, and especially once you get to the 13.1, which is ironed out a little more and adds even more features. So most people do upgrade right away as soon as it gives you that prompt, or it'll do it automatically if you have that turned on. One of the things, I think we were talking about it, is that you open all these apps after updating, and it's like, this app wants to use Bluetooth.
Yeah,
this
what's
app
all that?
wants to use Bluetooth. So I found an article talking about it from The Verge, and there's many different ways, and they're kind of talking about that app developers need to be respectful with the little message that pops up when it says, hey, we want to use Bluetooth. There's like the generic Apple message that's like, this app would like to use some Bluetooth stuff, and you're like, well, what would it possibly need?
And so there's probably just a blanket list of prompts, and they're not doing any work to turn them off. Is that the case?
Yeah. So it's like the Dunkin' app. This will
like
allow
Dunkin'
Dunkin' to
Donuts?
find and connect to Bluetooth accessories. This app may also use Bluetooth to know when you're nearby. So this is some of the beacon stuff. So if you are trying to use the app at a store, it might use Bluetooth. But there were some other ones like... Macy's, so stores, physical locations.
Yeah.
A lot of them have these beacons so they can see when you're there, give you an offer, that kind of thing, if you have the app installed. But like the Sling TV.
Yeah.
Sling TV, this is a great message, uses Bluetooth access to scan for nearby Cast devices. So Google Chromecast uses Bluetooth for like a guest mode. So the Sling TV app, it wants to be able to use Bluetooth to find a Google Chromecast device. So that gives you a little more information. Or, this one makes sense, Fitbit would like to use Bluetooth. Fitbit needs to connect to your tracker to track your exercise.
That's one
minor detail.
Yeah. You can't live without that one. Well, here's the problem, though, is that people like me get used to saying no.
Yeah.
And then the Bluetooth one that needs it comes along, like Fitbit. And then I'm like, why won't it connect? What's going on here? So, they need to really tone that down. But that's a new
some of the new security features is really making sure that you're aware when apps are using Bluetooth or location. The location's been there. The Bluetooth's a new one. Hopefully the app developers will pay attention to The Verge's article and give you some better information so you can make an educated decision instead of just guessing if it's what you need or not.
Right.
But something that you always need is Dave's Pro Tip of the Week.
Nate, I thought long and hard about this one. I was sitting at lunch today going, you know what? I could find something in Grandpa Bill's book. iOS just came out. We could talk more about iOS stuff, but people are sick of it or they know already. One thing that we're a fan of, or at least I am, and we haven't talked about much, is the Amazon Echo. Now, you have the Echo Dot at home, which you don't really use.
No, we'll play a song on it every once in a while.
So it's basically just something that's in your kitchen for timers or so the NSA can spy on you.
Yes,
that's basically all it is.
That's what I like.
Well, in my household, we utilize the Echoes a lot. We have one in our living room. I have one up in my bedroom now. These are the Echo Dots. Mm-hmm. One in my daughter's room. And I have something on my desk I'm going to talk about a little bit later in the show. But we utilize it a lot. And one thing I discovered quite by accident, I'll share here in a second. But the great thing about the Echo devices, they can be many things to many people. Like I said, they can be a kitchen assistant with timers and recipes if you have the ones with the screens, or they can be a music player, which is 90% of what we use it for, and a myriad of other things. You can play games, you can do all these things. Well, in order to interact with your Echo, you typically need to use your voice. And some people may not know about the different voice commands. They just turn the volume up, turn the volume down.
Yeah.
But Nate, did you know that you can say set volume to 10 and it turns it all the way up? Or you can say set volume 2. Because how annoying would it be to say, device, turn volume down, turn volume down, turn volume down,
Yes.
like 6 times to get it to go down. You can just say echo, turn volume to 2, and it'll do it.
Nice.
So that's a good thing. But here's the best thing that I discovered just because I wanted to try it. Now, you and I listen to our podcast usually at 2x, sometimes 3x speed. And when you slow it down to normal speed, it sounds like people are drunk.
Yes.
They're like, it's hilarious to listen to. I did that today, in fact, and I was just kind of laughing at the person. The Alexa devices, the Echo devices, have a speech rate that's a little bit slower than I like. So you can say, and I'll say Echo. So you can say, Echo, speak faster. And she'll increase her speed, and she'll go, is this an okay speed? And you can say go faster, faster, faster. I have not tested the limits,
Yes.
but you can also do slower. Let's say you have some type of hearing disability, or your cognitive processing cannot hear it fast enough. You can tell her to slow down, and all you do is say Echo, talk slower, Echo, talk faster. So, and then we may have talked about this one before, but you can enable whisper mode. So let's imagine if you're in the middle of the night. And this is a real scenario for me. I have a smart plug that's hooked to a light on top of our TV stand. And you can say, Echo, turn on light, and it turns on the light. Well, when everyone goes to bed and that light's still on, you either have to dig your phone out of your pocket to go to the app to turn it off, or you can use the Echo. Well, if she's at volume 10 and you say it, she's going to respond and go, okay, I'll turn off the light, like super loud and wake everybody up. But you can whisper to her. You can say, Alexa, turn off the light. And she will whisper back, okay, I'll turn off the light. It's so cool.
That's great.
Yeah, so you just have to whisper to her once, and then she'll enable that feature. So those are 3 things: the volume, the speech rate or speed, and the whisper mode. So
those are all great tips. Thank you very much. On to our takes of the week. Speaking of the Alexa devices, Facebook has unveiled their new Portal line,
which is much like the Echo Show.
Yes. So they have released, I believe, 4 or 5 new products.
Don't buy this, people, please.
Oh, no. I don't know. We shouldn't even talk about it, but they've got one that connects on top of your TV for $150, and then you can watch things on TV with other people. There's the Mini, the regular Portal, and the Portal Plus, and then the Portal TV. So 4 different devices, starting at $129 for the Mini. The Portal Plus has a 15.6-inch screen. That's that's bigger than my laptop screen.
It's like they're wanting to replace your television set with this kind of all-in-one TV media teleconferencing device.
Yes, yeah. So a lot of it is video chat, and then you can do some other stuff. But as somebody said, if it's Facebook is releasing a camera to connect to your TV to watch you in your living room, is this something anybody's going to buy?
No, not after their track record.
And they might be doing, there's rumors of more AR stuff and this stuff, but don't buy them. That's all I have to say.
Of all of the big players, Google, Apple, Amazon, and Facebook is the one to trust the least.
Yes. That one could have been not news. This one I think is definitely not news, especially for our listeners. Amazon has rolled out a lossless streaming music service. Now, there's been other ones of these. There was the Pono player, and I think Spotify might have one. So this
didn't Tidal have?
Oh yeah, Tidal had the lossless. So you are getting the most extreme quality music.
It's like 16-bit music, just like a CD that's streaming over the internet. Well, you may be asking yourself, well, why don't all of them have this? Because that much data takes up a huge amount of bandwidth. And so when you compress it, you can stream many more songs and media and stuff with a much smaller footprint. And that's what everybody enjoys. I think this is great. The problem is what are people listening to this full stream music on? Their phone speaker? Their AirPods?
Yeah.
They're going to sound like garbage.
The 0.1% of people that have audio equipment that could take advantage of this. I mean, it makes sense for them to offer it if other people have it, but I don't think it relates to us or any of our listeners. If that is you, and if this is your pick of the week, let us know for episode 200, but I just don't see...
I feel like Apple pioneered and solved a lot of these problems with its AAC, Advanced Audio Codec. I think it was an open source, but Apple used the open source and then put copy protection on top of it, and that's what they used. But it was a much better sounding algorithm at a much smaller size than the equivalent MP3.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? We still use MP3s heavily because storage spaces have increased, processors have increased, and so having larger MP3 files these days is not an issue. So many of the MP3s and the streaming music you get with their compression algorithms sound really good.
Yeah.
And better than anybody can probably tell.
If you can notice the difference, you're going to pay for this. But if you're just like, oh, it's better quality music, no, you don't. Unless you know you need it, don't worry.
But I think it's a great to have the option. So
yes. Well, we've got another TV streaming service that's been announced.
Oh boy.
Yes, NBC has announced the Peacock streaming service.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
They didn't.
They're calling it Peacock. It'll launch in April of 2020 with a lineup of more than 15,000 hours of content, including exclusive library titles, Parks and Recreation, great show, and originals including reboots of Battlestar Galactica, Saved by the Bell, and Punky Brewster.
You had me at Punky Brewster.
Yes.
So the name of the service reminds me of a Katy Perry song. If you're brave, go on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Google Tidal, or Facebook Music. Is that a thing? And type in a Peacock by Katy Perry. But that's what I think of when I see this. Why would they use that term?
Well, it's kind of their logo.
Yeah,
so
but
I think they had that long before Katy Perry was born.
What about 5-color music service or whatever, TV service? I don't know.
But yeah, so they're going to have a lot of content. Another one of these competitors, so we'll see how it all irons out. It's not coming out till next April, but
I have a point to make. Don't be fooled, like I almost was, by the Disney Plus email that you may have received that says, hey, sign up now. You can pay for a year of Disney Plus for $70. And I was like, that's pretty good. I'll save over the year, I'll save like $14 off of their $6.99 or whatever. I did the math poorly, but I was going to save money, and I'm like, I think I better do this. It doesn't launch until November, but I'm like, I might as well sign up now. Fine print. Hey, by the way, this is not the one that includes ESPN and Hulu and all those.
Limited.
It's just their basic limited one. And so I was thinking, because I've heard all the ads for the bundle.
The whole thing.
Yeah, so it's not the bundle. It's just the single Disney Plus subscription. But you can save. If that's all you're interested in, you can sign up and pay for a year in advance and save like $14.
Yeah.
So your mileage may vary, but don't be tricked, is all I'm saying.
And there's plenty of these services. So buying a year's worth might not be the best way to do it because you might want to switch around more.
Sight unseen.
Yes. And TiVo. Oh, TiVo. Speaking of streaming services, so TiVo has been, they were the original DVR. There are people that just swear by them. They have a lifetime access thing where you pay $200.
Some people buy 2 of them and stick them in their garage. When the first one breaks, they've
got an extra one. A lot of the tech guys especially, but I've never had one. I've used them with other people, but they are really making their customers angry because they have said that they're going to be adding commercials before all DVR recordings.
Come on, TiVo, why?
Even for lifetime customers. So if you've paid the lifetime service where you're supposed to get it forever, now they're saying anything you recorded, there's going to be a little ad before you can skip it, but that's just a hassle. You don't want to do that. So people are pretty out. Obviously, nobody's excited about this. Oh, sweet, I get more commercials in my life.
I got to tell you, this is a lesson to all of us, I think, in the digital age. To not, I was just talking about buying the Disney Plus a year in advance. A year's not so bad. But lifetime subscriptions to digital goods it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
It's tough. It is tough because how do they keep making money once they have you as a customer?
I feel the same way. So my good buddy Tyler, and super fan of the show, has many movies that he's acquired many ways, all legally, of course. He either buys the DVD and gets the code, or he buys the code, or he gets some promotion and gets a free movie. And he's amassed a large library of digital content, and that's great. What happens when terms and conditions change?
Yeah.
There is a future where he could be out every single one of those movies that he's paid for legitimately because, someone bought the company or there's a change like this. You're just not protected. So I would say to the listeners out there, be careful about setting down multiple hundreds of dollars for a service that you think is going to last forever, because it's not.
Yep, this is true. Nothing is guaranteed in life besides death and taxes. Is that what we say?
Especially not the digital.
And security and privacy stories.
Oh, yes.
One of the stories, I found this a little while ago and just linked up to it in our show notes. Fishers are angling for your cloud providers. So...
I love angling. A good title.
Yes. They're just looking for any way to get in and get your information. So if it's a customer relationship management provider where they could get in, get all that data. We've talked about other examples of this, but Krebs on Security took a good look where it's just, they're not just going after your bank app anymore. They're not just going after your email. They're trying to get in through other ways and find weaknesses through all these services you use, not even just to get your password, but they're looking at ways, if they know that you do business with so-and-so and can do a phishing email that you're not going to realize. We hear these stories over and over, so just really be careful with that stuff.
Yep, it's so easy to do to fall into that trap.
Yes, and LastPass, our preferred password manager. I highly recommend it to everybody. Please just go get LastPass. They did have a new vulnerability.
Very good, very good. I was in their waiting on pins and needles.
Yes, their Chrome and I think Firefox extensions, which I use the Chrome one 50 times a day. There was a way where there was some caching issues where a site could possibly get it from previous site, but they fixed it very quickly. They took care of it, and they don't think it was too widespread. But I do want to bring it up. I'm not going to hide it just because it's LastPass. I still highly recommend them.
Yeah, it's one of those things where they discovered it. It probably was never exploited, but it's just like anything. You need to be aware and be careful. So
Yes, indeed. Our bonus odd take of the week. The finalists are in for the 2019 Comedy Wildlife Photography Competition.
Comedy Wildlife Photography.
And it is exactly what you think. All these wildlife photographers, they submit and we might have even talked about this one before. I remember something similar at least, where they end up with these comical photos of wildlife.
Like they're laughing or doing something funny.
Some zebras laughing, or there's one where there's a little baby monkey that's just chilling. Like there is no tomorrow. But fun little article. Go check it out. And just there's a handful of pictures there, and they are cute.
I did not realize that's how rhinoceroses urinated, but it's really sad that bird is standing where it is.
Yes, that's worth clicking it right there. So go check that out through the show notes or the website. You know what else you should check out? Our picks of the week.
So I teased it earlier.
Yes, you did.
And Nate, I think you saw this last week on my desk. I have yet one more wonderful product next week that I'll tell you about.
Wow.
Just in time, just under our 200th episode, on episode 199. Before. So I'll talk about that next week. But this week I want to talk about the Echo Show 5. The 5 does not stand for the 5th version. It's one of the dumbest naming conventions. Like they took a tip out of Apple's playbook or something on these naming conventions. But it's the Show 5 because the 5-inch display. So think of an Echo Dot with a 5-inch display.
Yeah.
You may be thinking, now why did I buy this? Well,
which is what I asked Dave when he bought it.
The primary reason I bought it is because voice commands for your Echo device is great, but it only gets you so far. Do I want to ask what the temperature is or the time is or the forecast is every time? Or do I just want to look at my display?
Yeah.
And it's got a clock on there.
Yeah.
I can have headlines. I can have...
You got the date and the weather there just automatically.
And it's customizable. But one of the primary reasons I got it is because the price went down. Now, when this first came out just a mere few months ago, the price was $89.99, I believe. And I was like, that's a little steep. And I thought, well, if I trade in like one of my Kindle Fires that I've got or whatever, I can get the price down. And then I had like some credit. And I finally couldn't decide. And I just gave up and I bought something else. I can't remember what I bought. But it's always been in the back of my mind. I want this device to try out, if nothing else, just for our listeners so they know what it's like. Well, they had some flash sale. And it was on Amazon.com and at Best Buy, and I had a Best Buy gift card.
Oh.
And so the flash sale happened. It went from $89.99 down to $65, and I was like, sold. I'm going to do it. So $65 later, it's on my desk, and it works just like any other Echo device. You talk to it, and it has this nice display, which is rather nice, and it's touch display, so you can interact with it. It's not just for pretty looks, but I think it's a great addition to my desk as an info type thing. Oh, and I was going to mention that you do a lot of the interaction and settings through the Alexa app on your smartphone, but you don't have to. You can do many of the things right from the device. There's a setting.
Is that a camera in the corner, or is that just some sort of a motion sensor type thing?
It is a camera, and it has a physical shutter so that you can close it so that the camera is off if you do not want it to be on. It exists on this device because they have that drop-in feature on their show devices where imagine grandma has one and you have one, and you could say drop in on grandma. It turns her screen on, which can be very unexpected.
Don't drop in on grandma.
Well, if you do, make sure she has it like in her kitchen or something and not in her bedroom. It's designed for family members who are aware of this thing happening. You don't want to be like, oh, I've got one of these, and hey, I met you at a party. Here's my drop-in thing. And then 3 days later, some random person drops in on your living room. It's not for that. But I leave it open because I've found, and if I desire, I can drop in from my phone and see my office.
Oh,
like, did I leave my light on? Is there someone in my office right now or whatever? So that's why I have it on. It's pretty handy, but I did neglect to say. And let's talk about the sound. The sound is really good.
Nice.
I tried it both through my desktop speaker system for my computer and through the Echo device, and they sound eerily similar. My desktop system is a little bit better.
Yeah.
But not lots better.
Yeah, good. So it's a good enough.
Yeah, it's very good enough.
All these companies have these devices now. Facebook, we'd stay away from. Google just is doing a big push on their Nest Home Max or whatever that's similar, and Amazon's got theirs, and so it just depends where you're at. But it's a nice little device.
So I went off on that device, but it's kind of neat, and if the price drops again, I think all of you should check it out.
Nice. My pick of the week this week is a product that I got probably 5 or 6 years ago. I don't think I brought it up on the podcast, but I realized as I got my new titanium Apple Card that the wallet I carried is actually, because, they say keep it away from denim and leather or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was given by my uncle a Mighty wallet. Now, this is a brand of wallets. They've been around since 2005, their website says. And it is made out of Tyvek, which is a registered product used to put under siding on houses and protect moisture barrier.
Yeah, you know what else it is? The FedEx shipping pouches are made out of Tyvek. So you may have seen one. They're white, this white material that's kind of has fibers in it. So
yeah, very strong, durable. I've had this one for probably 5 years, and it has held up very well. And about a month ago, I was sitting there one night, and I go, you know what? I should see if they still have these, because as with many things, I should buy another one before they go away, because mine finally breaks and then I can't get another one. So I went and ordered another one. Now they have all these different designs. It's not just boring solid colors. You can even get custom ones made. But mine, Dave, is modeled after I
see it now. I thought it was just dirty, but it is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
So the outside looks like bread, and the inside, one side has peanut butter, the other side has jelly. It's got a couple little pockets. It's a pretty simple wallet.
That's hilarious.
But these are super nice, and if you're trying to keep your Apple Card away from denim or leather,
I guess that's the way to do it.
you can put it right here. So, Dave, what would you pay for a Mighty Wallet, Dino Mighty Tyvek wallet?
I think these things, I might be low, but I think they're going to be like right at $19.99.
$15.
Ah, very
And
good.
I will say this: the company, the owner, in quotes, sent me an email right away saying thank you for supporting us. They put a note in the box.
It's
said,
probably him. He's the one guy.
Yeah, he might be the main guy because that's how he was kind of talking about it. He's like, thank you for supporting my business that I started. We've got this great product. So it was very personable. That goes a long way.
It does.
That's a nice little pro tip for companies out there.
That's how you build a brand.
Yeah, is put some personal stuff behind it. But they have tons of different designs. You could find something, whatever. And they even have different products, smaller stash packs, and they have all kinds of stuff. They even
And
have
everything's made out of Tyvek?
selfie stick, which is not made out
Okay.
of Tyvek. A $46 selfie stick. I might have to look into that one.
No, you do not need another
No.
selfie stick.
And they've expanded quite a bit on their models, but these original $15 Tyvek wallets, very cool. So that is my pick of the week. Our Amazon purchase of the week. We love it when you shop through our Amazon links. This one is probably one of the most unique ones. I don't think this was you, Dave. Dave,
Okay.
did you buy the Stripmeister automatic wire stripping machine?
I did not.
So this is a large, well, not large. It's a pretty hefty looking desktop type wire stripper. So if you
Wow.
have a bunch of wire where you wanted to do some recycling, you put it in through here.
Oh, I see.
I mean, this thing is
That's
no
industrial.
joke. Yeah, it is very industrial. So if you had tons and you're trying to get the copper out or whatever you needed to do.
You're a meth addict and you went to a construction site and stole a bunch
Yes.
of wire. Yeah.
Yes, so somebody bought this. Hopefully you're not a meth addict. If you are, please contact us. We'll help you get help on that.
Yes.
But I would love to hear what you're using this for. Whoever purchased this, somebody through our link bought it because it
Wow.
showed up in the anonymous report. Strips all sizes from 18 gauge wire to 250 MCM, including Romex and braided stranded wire.
I think that's the big stuff.
Yeah, that must be big stuff. But yeah, this is no joke. Dave, how much would you pay for the Stripmeister?
Well, it's at the same time it's a single-use device, but it also can be used for many types of wires.
Yes.
Man, this is unprecedented. I have no thermometer here, no gauge, so I'm just going to throw something out. I think this thing was right around $40.
Well, you wish. $179.
Wow. Okay.
Which is a great reminder for those of you, especially when you make large purchases on Amazon. Make sure you use our links because we get a percentage back. So
And also make sure it's a Prime product so you don't have to pay for shipping,
Yes.
especially on $170-some.
this is Prime with free same day.
What is
Where
the
are they
size of this
storing
thing?
these things?
What is it, about a foot tall?
It looks like it. I'm going to see if there is some dimensions or weight in here.
That probably would have helped my...
Oh, it's only 4 pounds.
Okay, so
8 inches tall, you guessed.
I stick by my $40 then.
But 4.6 stars out of 5 on 137 reviews.
It must really, really work.
Yeah.
Now, getting sheathing off of wire is no joke.
No.
No, it is tough. So if that's something you need to do, a single-purpose device like this
Yeah.
is well worth the money.
And that one is manual. I am seeing in the sponsored products related to this item, you can buy motorized electric ones, and those ones start just above $200. So I don't know what the ups and downs of this.
If you had access to a foundry, maybe you could just throw the whole lot into your lava pit and burn off all the... It's
There
probably
you
not
go.
good for the environment, though.
Probably not. Well, with that, we're going to wrap up this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Please, right now, once the episode ends, that little music and the little funny part at the end,
Yeah.
figure out what you want your pick of the week to be, record it, send it off to us so we can start piling those up. I think we're probably going to have to give away some Notnerd gift bags to go along to some pick of the week submitters. What do you think?
I think that's true. And what was the item we were talking about the other day that you got for free or something? Was it with your phone? Some AirPods?
Something.
It was the
yes,
AirPods.
The wired lightning headphones that came with my new iPhone 11 Pro that I will not need since I have AirPods.
Yeah.
So some lucky listener, if you need some of those, get in your pick of the week.
And I'm looking around my office. I see some shaving cream. Why is that here? Different things. So
we will put something together good.
Something good.
The previous winners can tell you we do not let you down when we put together a Notnerd prize pack. So please submit your picks of the week. With that, get out there and tech better.
Alexa, play the funny part.
Sorry, there is no funny part.